Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Bible study this week. Last week we had Loken talking about following the example of Paul, or maybe another mentor in your life as you learn to walk through this life as a Christian. Today we are in Philippians chapter 4 verse 1 through 9, and Paul here again really encourages us to stand firm in the Lord. Then he addresses a few people personally. Apparently there were some ladies in the church and they were arguing about something, and basically Paul is saying, look ladies, like, your name is written in the book of life and you should be stoked about that. And so we need to live our lives differently to represent the gospel, because our lives are like a testimony about what Jesus has done in our lives. And so we need to live differently. Right? And he's saying you got to stop all of this arguing and complaining and all of this stuff. We shouldn't be people who are grumpy and arguing and anxious and all of that, because we are saved, right? And so Paul spells it out really clearly in verses 4 through 9. He says, because of our salvation, we need to live differently in 4 different ways. 1, we need to rejoice. And he says, again, I tell you, you need to rejoice. You're saved, right? And so our lives should be filled with joy because we are saved. I feel like gentleness is not something that is talked about very often, but Paul encourages us to be people of gentleness, and not just physically, but in how we talk and how we treat other people. Like, this is something that I definitely need to work on, learning to be more gentle in the way that I treat other people. So when you think about your life, are you a person who is known as someone who is gentle? Or is that something you got to work on, right? Because as Christians, we should be a people who are gentle. How about anxious? Are you an anxious person? Are you more known as a person who worries about stuff and is super anxious, or are you known as a person of prayer? Here's a free tip, okay? Whenever you're feeling anxious, pray. You have a relationship with God, the God of peace, right? So you can go to God and you can bring to Him anything that you're anxious about. You can talk with Him about it, and He will guard your heart and mind. Finally, Paul says, as Christians, we need to think differently. Because of our salvation, because of our relationship with God, we need to think differently than the rest of the world. He says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure and lovely and admirable and excellent and praiseworthy, think about those things. Because if you think differently, you'll start to act differently. And you'll be living out your life as a Christian should, right? And so Paul is saying, as Christians, as disciples of Jesus, this is how we should live. We should live differently. We should rejoice and be filled with joy because of our salvation. We should be people of gentleness, not anxious, but we should pray. We should think differently. So I want you to pause and just reflect, okay? As we've been going through the book of Philippians over the last month or so, has your life changed in any way? It's easy to come out here and do some wakeboarding and stuff, sit in the boat and talk about it. You can watch all the YouTube videos, you can hang out with other people who ride and know the ins and outs of it all. But unless you actually get out there on the water and start practicing it and start doing it, you're never going to experience the thrill and the joy of being able to land one of those tricks, right? So it's the same way in your Christian life. Paul is encouraging us, hey, we need to live differently. We got to get out there and practice this stuff and be filled with joy and not anxiety. We need to pray. We need to be a people of prayer. And we need to think differently. Think about things that are true and noble and admirable, right? And so I want to challenge you as we kind of wrap this up here. Go out and practice your faith. Go out and practice living like a Christian. It's not just about going to church or going to Bible study once a week, right? It's about putting it into practice every single day. And so I want you to remember, as you go out and practice this and do this, that you're not doing this alone or under your own power. No, God is with you, and God has given you His Holy Spirit to work in you and through you so that you can live out this Christian life. So it's not like you just have to go out and practice it on your own. No, God is with you, and He's helping you to be a person who is gentle and to be a person who is a person of prayer, to think about things that are right and true and noble, right? God is working in and through you. So I just want to encourage you with that. We'll see you next week.